Hello everybody, this is Monty with Flowers by the Bunch. Today I'm going to do a wintry themed arrangement. Now it's not going to be Christmas, it's really going to be winter. So when I think of these colors, I'm going to use whites and blues and silvers. When I think of these colors, I always think of Frozen. I can remember doing a birthday party for my niece Allie. And we did the Frozen theme when she was a little bitty girl, and it was so much fun to make her cake. We did snowflakes, and then I did white and blue flowers. It was just so much fun. So last week we got in some roses that I got to play with. I have never ordered them before, and I really just ordered them more for fun, just to see what they would look like. And so we got in, I think we got in a gold, a deep plum color, a royal purple that was as royal as anything I've ever seen, and then we got in these silver. Now I waited this week to do the silver roses because I wanted some blue delphinium to go with them, because my mind went to this icy themed arrangement. So today we are going to use some silver painted roses. Now the neatest part about these roses, if you look at the foliage, it's dyed navy blue. It's a really deep blue. And so what they did is first they dyed the roses and then they painted them silver. So I'm excited to see what this is going to look like. It's just something that's different than what I normally do, so that's the most exciting part. I did pull us some silver ornaments that we might tuck into this arrangement. I always like to have too much than not enough when I do an arrangement. I'm starting out with this vase. It is actually a mercury glass vase. We had it out in the storage, and it's a pretty silver. If you look on the inside, it's kind of gold, and so if you put candles in there, it would just kind of glow. So pretty. I am going to add a little bit of fresh floral foam, so I'm going to cut it because it's a little, my foam is a little large, so I'm going to cut it. Hey, oh, and I didn't bring a trash can in here. And I am going to slide it right down into this vase, just like that. I'm not going to tape it in because it does not need to. It's not going to go anywhere. Thank you. It's not going to go anywhere. So I'm not going to worry about taping that in. I did get my table a little wet, but okay. All right, we're going to start out with some hydrangeas. So these are, I am going to fill my reservoir with water, no worries. These are just beautiful white hydrangeas. I always like to order white. And I tell you, the reason I choose white hydrangeas is because they very easily paint. I'm going to take that stem, I cut it at an angle, and I'm just pushing it right into that floral foam. I like whites because I can use them with every color floral paint that I have, and I can make them any color I need them to. But sometimes you don't need pink hydrangeas, and sometimes you don't need blue hydrangeas. But white do really well with all arrangements because I can make them any color I want. And I like to have a cooler that has white flowers in it, so that if in case you get an order for another color, you can always tint it. So I have always loved fresh flower paint for that reason. Okay, so I took my hydrangeas and I went all the way around in this container with the hydrangeas. So just pretty white hydrangeas, just down at the base. Next I'm going to come in with my line flowers. So I chose blue delphinium. And actually I ordered blue delphinium specifically for this arrangement this week. Blue delphinium is always pretty, in my opinion. And it's pretty for lots of arrangements, lots of occasions. And blue's just such a pretty color, right? I'm going to take my lime flower, I'm going to cut that stem at an angle, and I am going to pop this blue delphinium coming out the top of this arrangement. I was really excited to do this specific arrangement. That sounds a little silly, but that's all right. So I'm just taking this blue delphinium, cutting that stem at an angle, and just tucking those stems right down into this floral foam. I'm going to use 5 stems of the blue delphinium. All right, so there's our pretty blue delphinium. Okay, next we are going to come in, let's see what else we have. So these are artificial. I want to say that it's a type of fern. What does it say on here? It doesn't. It is just a little type of fern, and it is glittered with a little bit of a silvery glitter. I don't know, it's probably hard to see, but I thought we would take these stems and use them as our foliage. So this is, again, just a little artificial branch. Now always remember that you can take artificial and mix it in with fresh. So be sure to do that. If you have some pretty artificial stems of foliage at home and you want to tuck them into your fresh arrangements, go ahead and do that because it's really kind of fun. I thought this glitter would be perfect with our silver. So you can see how I'm tucking those all the way around. But these little stems, I think, are like $4 here in the store. They're not very expensive at all. So I just went all the way around, and I used 3 of those little stems just all the way around. So look how fun and glittery that is. This stem came loose, so I'm just going to tuck him right in. Okay, next we're going to come in with, these are called snowflake daisies. Now a snowflake daisy, if you look at it close, they have little frayed ends. They're so neat, and they're really fun this time of year. So I thought we would tuck a couple stems of snowflake daisies in. So I'm taking that stem and cutting it at an angle, and just tucking these little guys right in. Should have brought my little lazy Susan in here to turn this arrangement. But I'm just nestling those little snowflakes right in. I like to get these this time of year because they are perfect for winter time. And they go well in any of the Christmas arrangements. So if there's a little head broken, go ahead and just pull that off. It's not going to hurt that flower at all. This one's broken too. All right. So there are our little daisies nestled in. So it's already so pretty in it. Okay, next we're going to come in. I thought we would do green trick, but I think it's a little lime green, so I don't think I'm going to use it in this arrangement. So I'm going to set it to the side. Sometimes you just never know. So next we have got some seeded eucalyptus. Because I really like the gray green of the eucalyptus, I thought we would nestle a little bit of this in. So what I'm going to do is just kind of come around on the edge of this vase very simply and just kind of tuck that in right around that edge. Again, I'm going to make sure that the reservoir is very full so that our flowers last. That's something that you really need to think about too, is when you make an arrangement in a container that you cannot see the water line, people often forget to water it. So if you have a little tag that you can put in an arrangement like this that says, "I'm thirsty, add water," it always helps to remind people to water them. Okay, so there's our little eucalyptus all the way around. See how pretty and flowy that is? Next, we're going to come in with our roses. So we have these beautiful painted silver roses. Now, these came from a company called Budsy. And Budsy has actually, I would say we purchase 95% of all our all of our flowers from them. So it's a really dark in the center, but it is a dark blue. So our blue delphinium really is going to be beautiful with this. I'm going to take that stem and cut it at an angle. And then I'm just going to nestle these roses pretty deep down into this container. I do love that they painted these roses, that they have these roses dyed blue. I worked with the gold roses last week. The gold roses, they painted yellow roses with gold paint. Now let me explain to you the reason I didn't love that. Because yellow is not as dressy as like an ivory or a white. And the yellow, you can really see the color underneath the paint. Once those roses start to open, you can really see that color underneath. And so I didn't necessarily love that. Now I did like the plum on a deep red, and the purple, I want to say was the purple on a red also. But I love the fact that the silver is on the blue. And it really does. It makes a huge difference when it has a good base color. And if you look at it close, I showed you that foliage. If you look at it close, the foliage is that deep blue too. So it is perfect for my blue delphinium. But look how fun those silver roses are. So fun. I have just placed an order for some more Israeli ruscus that's painted, and I ordered it in more Christmas colors. I ordered it in red, white, and gold. So I'm excited to play with that. Kind of more of a Christmas pack.
Call from 166
those make me happy.
2769.
Those make me happy. They almost look like metal, but they are pretty. That's so fun. I'm going to put a couple on this side of this arrangement. Now I will tell you, I have found when they paint these roses like this or different foliage, when they paint it, it seems that the flowers last a lot longer. I am not exactly sure what the material is they're painting this with, but that Israeli ruscus, and we even got in some thistle over the fall season that was painted, and y'all, it lasted forever. It lasted a really long time. I was very pleased with the product and very pleased with the longevity. So I'm just going all the way around in this arrangement, and the blue's coming off of my fingers. I am adding these pretty roses all the way around. Now most of the time you will see me wire my roses. This is actually just going to go over to Mama's house so she can enjoy them. I do like to wire my roses. I just didn't wire them this time. But I am pretty old school and I like to wire all my roses. But this is just a more fun arrangement. It's really not for, I mean, Mama will enjoy it. All right, so there's our roses tucked in, and I kind of went with roses all the way around. So next I had these little branches, these little stems that I purchased, and they're kind of snowy, just little snowy branches. It almost looks like a ruscus or like an Israeli ruscus, or I'm not even sure. But I thought we would take our snips and add a little bit of snowy foliage to this arrangement. Thought it would kind of give us that winter look. Now, if I had some branches, I could see birch branches tucked in and it would be beautiful. I do not have any, but I think tall birch branches, either painted silver or painted, or even glittered. You could even glitter those birch branches. I think they would be beautiful. But just kind of have fun with it. Make this a fun arrangement. And instead of going so traditional Christmas, I think this winter theme is perfect. So the flowers that we used in this arrangement include white hydrangeas. I used 3 white hydrangeas. I used 5 stems of blue delphinium, that pretty blue delphinium. We used 4 stems of the snowflake daisies. And then 6, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of those silver roses. But I've got the silver roses kind of all the way around in this arrangement. Lastly, I wanted to add a little bit of holly fern. Now, holly fern is in the fern family, but it's kind of got the shape of holly. And so this would be the perfect foliage to paint silver or paint white if you wanted to. But I did think that this holly fern, because it looks so Christmassy, it's so wintry. You know, usually in the winter time we will use more evergreen type foliages. And I thought this gives that holly effect. Again, it would be beautiful if you painted it, but it's perfect green also. Kind of pulls that. I just broke that stem. There it is. See how pretty that gives you a little bit of a whimsy. And I don't think holly fern necessarily has to be used in the winter time, but I do like it added to winter arrangements. I love mixed foliage. And again, I love to add that artificial foliage too, to kind of give you just a different texture and a different shape. But there you go. There is our pretty winter arrangement. I love the roses. And I'm one of those guys that I don't like dyed things usually. I don't like painted things that look artificial, but that's kind of fun. It's different. Now, I will say it's not something I want every day, but it's really fun to work with, and it's really exciting to work with something different. Guys, thank y'all for being here today. If you have any questions about what I did here today or what we do here in our flower shop, you know we would love for you to ask those questions. We're so happy to answer. Do me a great big favor. Like this video for us. The more likes we get, the more views we get to see. And subscribe to our channel. We'd love to have you here. Guys, you all have a wonderful day, and we'll see you all real soon.